Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's have a look a bit more at what the hell is going on today with XRP. So I've made a video this morning, I suppose, before this massive breakout took place. In fact, we were below the 200 exponential moving averages. This is where we were basically when we were making this video this morning, saying that something's brewing. Now something's clearly is brewing, and we've already met our first resistance target, 37 cent around here. So boing boing, well technically it's our second one. This was our first, breaking above this zone here. We've broken above here, now we've broken above here, so boing 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 and breakthrough. So I mean, what are we expecting at this point? Okay, I mean, in theory, you could throw theory out the window actually when it comes to something like this, but if anything, if we can have a look at Bitcoin just for a second, similar kind of event took place with Bitcoin, maybe not in the same way with the same methods, but it kind of did take place yesterday. And so let's have a look at what happened with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been in a bearish situation with a bearish chart, and then we had a massive event, and then basically it got drawn back into where its initial standing point. Now, you know, I'm not saying that's going to happen here. It may not happen here, but that's, you know, often the way. But the sentiment is here, the movement is here, and when it comes to breaking this down, is there any kind of method to it? Well, there is. We've got to look at the lower time frames. Okay, so the lower time frames super went bullish on this on this moment here. This was what was it? It was quite late last night. So that's the first bullish move there, and that was enough to change the direction of the moving averages on the hourly. All right, so look, don't get me wrong. Okay, I do TA. All right, I do it. Can it be relevant in a situation like this? Not as much, but can it be relevant? Yeah, it can. It definitely can, because however this move was created, or whatever's going on, whether it be suspicious or not suspicious, there's people who want to try and capitalize on the movement anyway. So there's going to be people, buyers, sellers, looking at buy entries, sell entries, this, that, and the other. So basically the chart went bullish from this point forward, as we can see, riding up against the center of the Bollinger Band, coming down to test it. All major moving averages basically being respected. Divergence again here from the two major moving averages, the 200 and the 50 exponential, and then basically just riding up the top of the 10, which is usually the most bullish things you can get. Then launching outside of the Bollinger Band at this point often needs to come back within it. So we're coming back within it. So I suppose what I'm saying here is it going to be sustained? Is there going to be more moves to it? Well, look at where this one's coming in here, this 10 exponential moving average. The last time, this last dump that we've had over the last few hours came down to touch the 10 exponential moving average. So, you know, in theory, if there was another buying opportunity or a longing opportunity, I suppose this would be it. Now, I'm no financial advisor, not financial advice, especially in a situation like this. No one can really give any kind of financial advice when it comes to something like this. This is extremely hot, dangerous situation right now. Up or down, who knows? Sometimes it's better just to watch the spectacle unfold. But, you know, if there were to be a buy entry, the last opportunity we got was here, and that was also here, that was also here, that was also here, and so on and so on and so on. So, you know, if there is another pullback, you know, on the hourly time frame, it's very likely to be here, because this also respects the previous support resistance zones that we've had here, here, and here. So this zone here is very, very important, and it coming in at around about 37.5 cents. So, you know, is it going to come down to test there, or is it going to sail on through? Is the FOMO going to continue? You know, what's the direction? Personally, I think the direction is going to be, I still think it's going to be up. All right, looking at some of these oscillators, very overextended. Last time we had a read like this on the money flow index was back here, which coincided with this move, which wasn't particularly big at all, but kind of did lead to an enormous drop off on volume, all the way down to our previous low there. So, you know, I mean, this is an hourly chart, so I suppose it doesn't look as obvious as what happened here, but you know, this was a decent peak, a decent high, and then an extremely decent low. So what are we expecting now? Like I say, pull back to this zone and probably a continuation, in my opinion. I think the momentum is too strong to keep this one below, at least below around about 34. I'd be very surprised if this peters out that quickly. I think it's basically getting ready for another round. and then we've got those those areas that we discussed this morning before all this broke out. This is the next major zone of support and resistance that needs to flip. 45 cent. If we can get above there, which coincides with this, and this. This would be an area that, if were to be reclaimed as a support, even if it was just temporary, even just on an hourly, for instance, it would be a major win for the bulls. And then from there we can talk about an all-time high, and the all-time high, in my opinion, is likely to take us up to the top of this Fibonacci retracement on the weekly, which is the 236, the very first level of Fib retracement since the all-time high and the all-time low. This would be a massive deal for it. And if this area of 86 to 87 to 88 cent gets taken out, things are going to get very interesting. So, I mean, like I say, this is super pump. It could very easily and most likely will end in a super dump, but you know, as big and bold as this move is right now, it could certainly get a lot bigger. But again, no financial advice, absolutely none whatsoever. It's just my quick take on this on the very short time frames for what it's worth, which may not be a great deal. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice easy evening. Take it easy.